last two videos have featured two marshes and a swamp, so why not visit a different type of wetland, a bog. This is not a typical bog, as I will show, but it is oh so interesting. And the first really cool thing is right at the beginning. Take a look at this stream. This is really how it looked, no weird editing. I'm not sure why this is happening, but a likely cause is that iron in the soil has been exposed to air and moisture. This causes the iron to oxidize, or rust, and it turns this red-orange color. Bogs are not very common in southern Ontario, but the Wainfleet Bog is the largest one remaining. It used to be 200 square kilometers, but is now 15. This is due to peat harvesting and agriculture. Another interesting thing, what do you suppose this is? If you guessed a narrow gauge rail system, you are right. In the first part of the 1900s, this bog had a major peat harvesting operation, and this rail system was used to transport peat out of the bog. But what is peat? It is partially decomposed moss, and it is valuable for improving soils and has traditionally been used as fuel for heating and cooking in some countries like Ireland. And peat is one of the things that makes a bog a bog. Bogs and fens are wetlands with a deep layer of peat, while marshes and swamps have no peat or a very shallow layer. This bog is about 5,000 years old and has a peat layer that goes down 3 to 5 meters into the ground. And it's a good thing this old railway is here, because the trail beside it is completely waterlogged at this time of year. The trail over there looks drier now, so I'm going to cut across to it. There are so many birch trees here, mostly silver birch. This tree does not normally grow in a bog, but remember that this bog has been changed by human activity. Peat was harvested here for about 80 years. To harvest the peat, the bog had to be dried out by digging ditches to drain the water. In the early years, peat was dug by hand and loaded into ore carts on the narrow railway. There was actually a German prisoner of war camp here during World War II, and the prisoners were sent out to dig the peat. Later came large machinery that vacuumed up the peat. Draining the water and harvesting the peat was extremely destructive to this ecosystem. So this bog just doesn't look like a bog anymore. And with the bog dried out, non-native species of trees were able to become established. These birch trees have taken over large areas. Work started in the 1990s to rehabilitate the west side of this bog. Ditches were filled in, and bog plants were reintroduced. Well, the trail continues behind me, but it's getting wetter and narrower, so I think I've actually seen enough. What's that up there? That looks like a turkey vulture. A turkey vulture is a very large bird, and it soars above fields. It doesn't flap its wings very much, but glides with its wings in a slight V shape. Listen to all the sound in this bog. I suppose those are birds, but I have no idea what they are. Not even my Merlin app is picking up what they are. Maybe they're frogs. Yeah, maybe they're some type of frog. Okay. Here I have found a pussy willow tree. I used to have a tree like this at my house when I was a kid. They do look quite beautiful, and pussy willow branches are used by some cultures in spring ceremonies. The free parking lot is at the end of Erie Peat Road. The trail through the bog is about 1.8 kilometers one way.